Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm here with my friend Christina. With her, she sells on eBay. Her store is Everything Under the Sun, and I'm excited for this show today because Christina, she's been selling on eBay for about 4 years. She is a part-time seller. She's doing between $300 to $600 a month, and again, she's doing it part-time. But she was telling me behind the scenes that she wants to go full-time. So I really want to get to hear her story. I want to hear about what types of items she's selling, what she's doing really well with, what she's struggling with, and just wanted to have a little conversation. And I've been really enjoying bringing on different eBay sellers and hearing about their story. So we got people coming in and saying hello already to Christina. What's going on, Christina? How you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Was that a cha-ching that I heard at the start of the Raking
Yes, yes. Something just sold. One of the books I put on.
That
So
is fantastic. That's, you know what? That's a good luck sign. That means we're gonna have a really, really good show today. Um, I want to let everybody know my internet has been a little spotty the last couple weeks. Hoping to get the internet service out. So if it breaks up a little bit, that's my fault. And just bear with us. But Christina, welcome. How you feeling today? Happy New Year. We're almost in 2022.
yep, and here in 9 days I'll be 55. Yep.
Oh, stop
So
lying to us. I was gonna say 42.
nah, 55. I wish I was 42 again. They were the days.
So you
So
started reselling what, around 51 is when you started selling on eBay?
Around 51, yes. And believe it or not, the first year I sold nothing and I wasn't even really interested in it, to be honest. I was dating a guy that was really pushy, wanted me to get in it. I'm like, look, I don't do auctions um, because I always remember eBay auction only. And he was like, no, no, they changed it. So I went ahead and did a little bit just to make him happy. And I actually didn't sell until the next year. And the and to be honest, I don't even buy a lot online. I bought more since I started eBay. And I only sold about $250 the second year. About 4 months before COVID hit, I really started to intently work on the business and listing. A lot of my housekeeping jobs, they weren't having me come. Everybody was terrified about catching COVID. And I managed to sell in just like a quarter and a half about $4,000 worth of stuff. And then I've been working on it all this year as well. So it's been quite the process. My biggest challenge is during the COVID year. I don't know if you had experience with this, but I had a lot of experience with it. Technical difficulties with eBay site and glitches like you wouldn't believe. If I didn't have to deal with all them glitches, maybe I could have done a lot more, but there was a lot going on. So, and still, yeah, usually about every month I'm calling eBay about a glitch.
Yeah,
So,
it's always fun getting on the phone with eBay and hoping that you can get somebody that understands you and you can talk to and get an answer. Yeah, 2020 was
yeah,
crazy. There were a lot of changes, and obviously these websites were having trouble handling things, and there weren't a lot of people working and stuff. And that's one of the biggest difficulties of selling on eBay and Amazon is figuring out all the technical stuff. I remember when I first taught my mom how to sell books, it was really challenging because you don't learn about this stuff in school, learning about all the different ins and outs of apps and the website stuff and customer service. I mean, it's a lot to learn. So how did you overcome those first couple items that you sold? Like, how did you learn how to do this when you didn't know how to do it?
Well, being older and raising 4 kids and having many different jobs, which I did do, I have a hard time sticking with jobs because they become very boring. Once you learn it, you're done. I I'm just the type that it's like, okay, I can figure this out. I can do this, and I did. It's just perseverance, and making sure that you're you try. And I will say, once I discovered YouTube, it was a tremendous help. Putting in something and having someone else, telling you how to do it and what to do, and finding answers. And although some YouTubers, they tweak the answers here and there, but yeah, it's a big help. Um, and the same with uh, Primetime Treasure Hunter. I didn't know how to ship an aerosol can, and even when they're empty, you have to watch how you're shipping them. And watching his YouTube about it, a lot of times I'll just punch in something and bring somebody up, and that's how I found you as well. To watch. Uh, you're more inspirational, which really helps keep up the motivation, the desire to continue when you're like, oh man, again, I got to do this again. So that was interesting.
Yeah, it's the mental aspect of reselling, which is the hardest. And you mentioned it
Mm.
before. I mean, when you're selling online, you're 100% responsible for listing items, for selling items, for making money. It's not like a job where, you have to be somewhere. There's nobody saying, Christina, you have to list 5 items today. Christina, you have to ship items. Christina, you have to call eBay because there's a glitch or an issue. It all comes down to our motivation. And that's why I always talk a lot about it, because you can know about all the best items to pick at the thrift store. You can learn about how to take the best pictures, how to ship great. But if you can't master your mind, I mean, that's the hardest part. So how do you do that? How do you stay consistent with finding inventory and listing and, keeping up with it all?
So, as I said, I always had trouble sticking with jobs, and then I had 4 children, which 2 ended up being handicapped. And I found out that was the hardest job in the world, being a stay at home mom, raising 4 kids. There's no days off. You don't get nights off. You don't get nothing off. And it's a daily grind every single day. And it really, really developed my personality of sticking with something, because I knew eventually, once the kids got older and they got old enough to leave, that they were going to be raised and gone. And so, as they were closer to teen years, I had developed a house cleaning. I'm an independent housekeeper. So I discovered I really liked it. I liked how I could choose the clientele I wanted to work for, how many hours, what type of size of homes that there was, and I could adjust the time to do so. So when eBay came into factor, I want to transition into full-time eBay because housekeeping is very hard. It's a lot of work. And I've had some injuries over the years. And so I was like, you know what? Instead of getting up at 6 a.m., I'll just get up at 4 a.m. So I get up at 4 a.m. every morning, and the first thing I do is I start eBay. Yep. And depending on what time my first job starts in the morning will depend on when I quit. Sometimes it might be 2 hours, sometimes it might be 5 hours. And on weekends, it's as long as I want to spend on it. So yeah, that's what I do. I just every day. I don't take days off. So
I
um
love it.
It's
You remind me of
interesting.
my mom. She's the same exact way. She's like, nobody's getting in my way. You know what? I work when I want. I do what I want with this business. And that's the greatest thing about selling on eBay, reselling is you could work at any time of the day. You could work when you want. You could work as long as you want. So that's really, really cool. So you said you wanted to go full time. So what what do you think you need to work on, or what do you think is preventing you from going full time? What are some of your goals maybe for 2022 to help you with that?
So what's preventing me from going full time is that I still have trouble with listing. Okay. It's taken a long time to get from where I started when I first started taking photos and listing to where I'm at now. Um, half of it I blame on eBay because between their glitches, them changing the platform, every time you turn around, there's something new that they want you to add or something new that you got to do, which and then when they're changing it and they do the glitches, they kept knocking out my stuff. Things were in wrong categories, and then things were missing this or that, and heck, they even shut off some of my stuff. And so another problem I had was photographs. I found out I'm not camera friendly. I literally had to invest in I invested in an iPhone with
Mm,
the 3 cameras in the back
yep.
because you start getting more shaky as you get older, and regular cameras blur when you're taking the photos. And then I had to learn to find an app that I could download because I'm an Apple person. I like Apple because Apple works.
Same here.
I
Yep.
Yep. And so I entered the what do you call that, the need to find out about technology and what works. So it took a lot to keep finding what I need to get a system in place. And plus, as I keep expanding my space, I keep discovering I need to revamp rooms and the ways I do storage. That was another thing. I have an extensive storage system because my name literally is what I sell, everything under the sun. I've even
100%.
sold, yep, I've even sold Jeep lights. And
Yeah.
so I'll sell anything. Yeah, if it's an auto part, I'll sell it. If it doesn't matter to me. Um, so I had to do a bookcase system. I had to do a rack system for romance novels, which is a different type and size of book. I had to do a little bin system. I had to do clothing bin system. I had to do hard good bin systems. Then, as items get larger, I had to do open shelf systems and top shelf systems. So, and the one thing that I was highly disappointed is that when you're doing systems like I do and numbering, I haven't found a application that allows me to keep these systems, but it also shows me what the next number or the next letter would be within the system. So, because there's more than just that system, there's within that system as well. So, that's been a difficult challenge as well. And you have to take time out to do that too. So, when you're doing a listing, you just can't throw it wherever. I have almost 2,500 items now in my store. And as soon as I make a sale, I know where it's at. I used the skewer. There was another thing. I couldn't list for 2 days because eBay glitched my store, and it wouldn't let me put any skewer in. And I called
Really?
them up, and they're like, "Yeah," and they go, "Well, you can still list." I'm like, "No, dude, I'm not listing if I can't put where it belongs, where it's going to
You'll
go.
never
If this
find it.
item's Yeah, I would never find it. So, like I said, I've dealt with a lot of glitches, a lot, crazy glitches. So
Yeah,
it's
you got to have thick skin as a reseller because, things are changing all the time. Like you said, everything's always changing, and you're always having to change your systems as well to like improve them, improve your photography system, improve your inventory system. And as you mentioned, it's not something that happens quickly. To build a whole new system and you have multiple systems interlocked with each other, it takes a lot of time, and you're not making money when you're building a system. You're actually taking a couple steps back, but that in the long run, it's going to help save time and stuff. Let's talk a little bit about listing first, because we talked about listing and inventory systems. We'll dive into them, but are you listing on your phone or are you listing on like an iPad or something?
I lost you there for a minute, and so I didn't hear that question.
Oh, okay. Are you listing on your phone or are you listing on an iPad?
Okay, so I have an iPad Pro, an iPad laptop, I have an iPad phone. When I do my listings, I use my phone for the photography. I download laptop. Oh no, problem glitching with eBay, and I've called them several times on this. The Chrome doesn't like. Okay, so eBay um prefers that you use Chrome. I prefer Safari because that's how I them. So when I have a problem, I if it messes up on both, I get to call them up and say, "Look, it's your system now." Because before they kept saying, "Oh, it's the Safari that's the problem. It's the Apple system." Now I get to use both, and then I get to tell them how it's their problem. So yeah, I mean, like I said, if it wasn't for them constant challenges, and as motivated and determined as I am, who knows where I'd be right now. you know
Sorry about that.
you know
I think my internet is like really bad because the last couple interviews I had, it's just so choppy. I'm hearing some of the things you're saying, but it keeps chopping up so much. So um, I apologize about that. But I got the gist of what you were saying with all the different challenges and all the different changes, and it's making it hard for you to be consistent and just consistently do what you have to do with listing and all the processes because everything's changing all the time. But I mean, it's part of it.
hmm
It's part of the business. One of the things that I realized, Christina, is like for me, like it's easy for me to get upset and mad. But I learned a couple of years ago, like there's only certain things that we can control. Like we can't control eBay, but we can control
yes.
the quality of items we source. We can control how many items we list. We can control our systems and whatnot. Um, what would you say is your number one strength right now in your business that you control? What do you feel that is your best quality as an eBay seller?
Well, there's a lot. I Wow, lost you completely.
Yeah,
I feel
we might,
that.
we might have to honestly postpone this because this connection is like really, really bad, and I think it's my fault, Christina, because this has been the last three.
Yeah.
The comments, no, I feel terrible because you're doing such a great job. But we'll let the people know in the comments if it's too annoying right now. And again, I'm 99% sure it's my connection, Christina. So I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah. Now, I very rarely have bad connection here, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that my internet's pretty good. So
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I have 3 stories in my house and my router's on the second floor, and the Wi-Fi is just really, really terrible. I'm not sure. It's a new router and everything.
you might
So
need extensions. You might need extensions to power it up in different levels. Yeah.
yeah, maybe like a Wi-Fi extender or just a really long Ethernet cord for the live shows.
I learned how to do my own Ethernet cords. Yeah. Because I have my eBay store in my basement, which is almost 1,200 square feet. It's a very large basement. And I was like, I need direct contact because in my basement, the Wi Fi is not, it's sketchy because it's a very old house. So I learned to run my own cords and attach my own ends and everything. Yeah. It's just more cost effective that way. And I learned to do that by watching YouTube.
Well, let me ask you, because we'll do another show together that's better quality. But what's one piece of advice you give to somebody who is brand new, or maybe they're only doing a couple $100s a month, and maybe they're thinking about giving up or quitting, or they don't know. Maybe they're saying, "Oh, I'm in my 50s, I'm in my 60s. I don't think I can do this. This is the technology." Like, what advice would you give to them?
um, do some research and definitely listen to some other people that are up there as well. So you will know exactly what you need. I did waste time and money in getting equipment that I thought that would work, and then I ended up having to go another way. And it's time consuming and it's not very cost effective. Um, and if they're gonna do a small scale, definitely do items that are small and worth more, and that you don't mind researching. Yeah, because research does take up more time. And if you are going to do a lot of research, hopefully you don't mind social platforms because you can find a lot more information on social platforms and get more help because I don't do social platforms. Yeah.
It's not for everybody.
No, I was stalked one time on Facebook, and because of that I don't keep a Facebook account. Yeah. People I just I'm not friendly with it. And then with Craigslist, I love Craigslist. I'll buy from Craigslist, but I hate selling on Craigslist. People waste your time so much
Oh, it's terrible.
on oh yeah, they'll make an appointment, never show. I hate wasting my time, and that's what I love about eBay. If I'm doing something else, I can write, sorry, I can't answer your question. I'm not at my store right now. I will answer as show as as soon as I can. So, um, that's what I love about that. It and I just am not really a Facebook person, and I just watched Nurse Flipper, I think that's her name.
Yeah, she was on primetime.
Really upset with yeah, she was upset with Macari because Macari banned her, it shut her down and kept her money. Yeah. And it's
Yikes.
because I keep thinking of using another platform, but I keep hearing such horrible things about them. So,
Do you sell on Facebook Marketplace?
no, because they insist that you have a Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be able to use
And you could always
their
create a
platform.
you could always create a fake account or a secondary account. I just created one. We'll see if it gets banned or not because I'm trying to get my team on it because I do sourcing off of Facebook and whatnot. So I mean, you could always create one. Facebook's a little weird though about like fake accounts, so you'd have to be a little careful about it. But that's always an option.
Yeah, because I don't want my name. I don't want anything out there on this social media because I don't do social. I don't do Instagram. I don't do any of the social platforms whatsoever. And I don't have time for them because on top of my housekeeping, I manage 3 houses and I also clean for an Airbnb. So my time is quite precious to me. And
Yeah.
social platforms suck you in, and they're a time sucker, to be honest.
You know, I've watched documentaries, and the people who created Facebook and Instagram and all these social media platforms, they hire institutions, they hire scientists, they hire the best of the best to figure out how to keep you on that platform as long as possible. You're like a little tiny animal. You're like a scientific experiment. And it's like they've created every little thing to make it impulsive and likes and to get your chemicals in your body flowing over. It's wild. So I don't blame you.
And it's commercialized. You see, that's why I don't even have regular TV cable. I despise commercials. And YouTube, I don't pay to do ad free because I don't listen to it a lot. I still kind of sort of listen to it, but if there's nothing of interest, I just don't bother and I skip through the ads if possible. So I have Netflix. I've had Netflix the past 5 years. I pay $8.99 a month. And then if I do have a little bit of time, I get to choose what I want to watch and watch it, and I'm not wasting extra time. So it's just the type of person I am. So
So tell me, because we'll probably wrap this up in a few minutes, and we'll do a part two if you want down the road, so it could be higher quality. What do you want to accomplish in 2022? If there's a couple things that you could focus on, is it sourcing more? Is it listing more? Is it praying that eBay stops having glitches? What do you want to focus on to help grow your business this next year?
uh, so right now I have a room that has a lot of stuff in it. As a housekeeper, I have a lot of customers that will say to me, Christina, please make this go away. So I get a lot of free inventory. I'm turning that I'm going to turn it into an exclusive shipping area. My next focus is to add more of it's listed storage down in the basement. And my next focus, because I only made almost $1,000 more than I did last year, is to try to double it. I'd like to double it if possible, and figure out a system that works for me to make sure I'm listing instead of just 5 or 10 items a day, more like 20 to 40 items a
Mhm.
day. I haven't made that yet because again, the glitches, oh, the glitches. Like if I try to draft more than exactly 20, it ruins all my photos if I have them on eBay. It resizes them all and it ruins them. And then I have to call eBay and they have to fix the glitch. Like I
Some
said,
of
I have all
the
these,
Yep.
yeah. So I have these constant restrictions and glitches that goes on. Um, and in fact, just the other day, I wasted a whole hour with eBay because someone from Japan, I learned quick I should ship overseas. So I do ship international as well. And the person from Japan did not put their address in right. I called eBay. They couldn't it took him a while to try to figure out, but first he couldn't figure it out. And he was like, well, you need to move the address around. I'm like, no, you need to move the address around. You guys allow the shipping and the labels to be brought up. You need to move it around. He couldn't figure it out. So then he told me I should Google the address. I go, that's what I pay eBay to do. I pay eBay for this service. You need to figure it out. And he did. He did eventually, but it took an hour. It took a whole hour on the phone. And then I had to call them back twice because they disconnected me. Yeah. So like I said, the glitches. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So,
it's unfortunate.
so
You'd think that they'd fix these things, but they just don't.
well, it's the computer, it's the programming, it's the coding, it's the patchwork they put in it. And it does get very complicated. I can understand that. So yeah, my goals: try to double my store, um, almost double the amount that I got listed and in storage, and make a complete separate shipping area. Maybe I can even use two parts. Like, as I mentioned, my son is signed on as a partner, and not quite got the motivation I do. But anyways, if I was selling that much, I want to be able where we could both work on it at the same time, would and have a more organized, cohesive, because I don't spend a lot on boxes. I don't know why anyone would. Just go around your city or town on recycling day when they put the boxes out. You can find all the boxes in the world that you need. A lot of people buy online, and it shows a lot during recycling day. So
Yeah, that's a great tip. Michelle CD says, Christina's got a good point. I never have any issues on Poshmark or Mercari with any listings, but on eBay. So it sounds like, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
some of the platforms are catching up. I'm not sure. eBay's always been kind of a weird platform. I love eBay, but they always have these weird little odd little issues that kind of linger on for a while until people complain enough.
Yeah, yeah. And the one thing I pointed out to eBay every time I call and I have technical difficulties, because they don't seem to give me a spot that where the technical difficulties would be, which is more, again, computer related, code related. I used to go to college and I worked by the coders. So I talked to a lot of coders and cleaned house for a few myself. And they don't give you that option. They don't give you that option as a choice to say, hey, you're coding, you got a problem here. This is not about selling. This is not about, buying. It's not about my account. It's technical issues. And I wish they would have technical issues for us sellers that
Mm.
would not, maybe even the buyers, because my son went to buy from eBay, and it wasn't letting him buy an item. Now I don't know what they were doing or how they were changing the system. And I told him, I said, well, call up eBay. They allow you to, to call them and tell them that it's not allowing you to buy from them. So yeah, they need a technical
Yeah,
difficulties
I
button.
actually I have to I have to reach out to my credit card company today because I buy a lot of items off eBay that I sell on Amazon, and I bought a board game or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it wouldn't let me check out. So I kept trying to check out like four times, and then I just checked my American Express statement, and they're charging me four times. It was $110 item, so I have $400 plus in charges on my credit card now for the same item four times. So I don't know what the heck they're doing.
Wow. Wow, yeah. And that again, that's an eBay technical issue that they glitches that they have. Catch you later.
Appreciate you, Julie. Well, there's a lot of people who
Yeah.
love you. A lot of people love you in here having you. So to wrap things up, we heard about your goals, we heard about some of your struggles and whatnot. What's your plans tonight, New Year's? What are you going to be doing? Are you working on the business? Are you hanging out with your son?
My son likes the game. He's earned all his own money always, and he's always bought his own gaming computer systems, everything. I like teaching my kids the value of earning your own things because then you appreciate them more. And he games a lot, so he does his own things with his buddies. It's a guy thing, I guess. He's 24 now, so me, I'll probably work on my business. Yeah, I didn't quite meet my goals. I had to stop today. Um, and go do a housekeeping job. So I definitely plan to go back on list, take more photos. Yep. Do my business. So
Well, I love it. You're definitely amazing, Christina, and I loved hearing your story. And the one thing that I really respect about you most, and I think everybody could agree, is you're very passionate. I love your energy. Um, you told me you're turning 55. I don't know if I believe it or not, but you have the energy and passion of like a 20-year-old. So I love it. It's contagious. It's something that's very rare nowadays. And yeah, Timmy's saying very honest. She's awesome. Michelle says, yes, super sweet woman. So sweet. Definitely a pleasure to listen to. So I don't know. You might be hijacking the Rake and Profit YouTube channel because everyone was more excited to have you here. So I love it.
my biggest passion about eBay is this. I love recycling. I love older things that are better made. I think a lot of things are made so crappy today. And
Yeah.
I love the fact that someone else may want it and that, when you're hunting for something, I bought a glass type globe from eBay. I spent weeks searching for this. Finally had it shipped to me and it arrived broken. My heart
Oh,
was broken. It was exactly what I wanted. And then I spent several weeks trying to find the same item, got something similar, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted. And that's what I love about eBay is that it's so unique and so different, and that we get to put things on and nothing stays perfect. And I'll tell you that as a housekeeper. I don't care how brand new and how great and perfect and unblemished and unscarred that item is. Just give it a few days in your home. Next thing you know, it got scratched, it got bumped, it got something. And so you learn that beauty is just having it make you happy. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to make you happy. So that's my most passionate thing, is getting stuff and getting to re-offer them to people. So
that's amazing. Well, Christina, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your knowledge. Really enjoyed talking with you, and you did a great job. She said this was her first time going live, and I think you did fantastic. So thanks again. Down below in the description, you can check out Christina's eBay store, Everything Under the Sun. If you enjoyed this video, go check it out. Maybe support her, buy something. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on and hope you have a great new year, Christina.
and you too. And I would be more than happy to do a part two when you get some Wi-Fi extenders. Do a little research on them, by the way. I always recommend a little research before sinking in a bunch of money. And I bet it'll fix your system there that you're having problems with, or learn
Well,
to
thank you.
run lines like I did and
Yep.
fix it in direct. Yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Christina. I appreciate everybody watching. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button. We'll be back to you maybe in a couple weeks or so in the new year with a part two, if we could work out a date. And much love, everybody. Thank you so much.